Hey guys, this is Ray with US385, and today I'd like to continue with the segment about financial independence and how to achieve that. The third segment I'd like to let's see. First, let's go ahead and recap. We talked about overcoming the mental hurdles of debt. We talked about also plugging the holes where money is just kind of errantly being spent out of your own pocket, sometimes without much thought on a monthly basis. So let's say that we've plugged the holes and we talked about overcoming the mental blockages. The next step, and this is probably the, you can have some too here. Tracker's trying to get a little bit of coffee, so there was a little bit of coffee on the lid from the mug that I'm using right now. Anyway, the next step is reinvesting your dividends. As you begin plugging the holes in your financial during your financial journey, you're going to have additional dividends to reinvest. So how do you reinvest those dividends? What do you do with them? That is the crucial element of becoming wealthy. It's how you define who you are, and so a lot of people will come into extra money and immediately spend it on something instead of maybe snowballing the additional money to pay off other things faster. And I got into that habit because I learned about a lot of 0% credit offers, which I took advantage of for a long time until finally they took advantage of me. And again, it was easy to recover because I remembered my initial steps, which were, as I've mentioned before, I have used credit really well, and I used it well enough to take advantage of their system for a while. Again, until they took advantage of me, and it wasn't them taking advantage of me. That's the other thing. Accepting responsibility for the situations that we're in is part of the mental adjustment about overcoming the mental blocks of debt that I was talking about. It's not something that's happening to us. In a lot of instances, in every instance, it's something that we're bringing upon ourselves. So overcome the mental obstacle, plug the holes, and then reinvest your dividends. What do I mean by that? So typically in the past, when I was spending money like it was no big deal, I would spend $5 to $8 on a fast food meal, and that would happen on a daily basis. And a lot of times that's just because that's what was available. Even in the quality office environment that I worked in, there were a lot of marketed, over processed foods that were available to us all. So, and there's also healthy stuff there, which I took advantage of in my latter days of being employed on the corporate segment. And I learned that even though we're participating in the corporate lifestyle, we don't have to consume everything the same way that our counterparts do, and you can easily overcome any monetary deficit that you're struggling with if you're working in a corporate environment, because you're getting paid really well and you have really good benefits. And so the only other things that are affecting your income or the outflow are the things that you yourself are doing, and that applies, of course, to myself. So anyway, reinvesting. How do you reinvest, especially when you just plug the holes and you're still at a level where the money is not quite commensurate with what you owe? Well, what do? Well, you're still going to be eating over the course of time. As an example, you're still going to be going to certain events, maybe. You're still going to be doing what you do with the groups that you do those with. Now, the way that I was able to immediately reinvest my money was to realize that, okay, well, maybe the I don't know, the lemon pepper salmon was a little bit more than the triple cheeseburger option, the gourmet burger at Cheesecake Factory or something. I'm just mentioning a place. It could be any place in the world. But imagine that maybe there was a more quality, and again, whether it was salmon or salad or whatever, imagine there was a higher quality version of what you could have that had less of the things that were causing anything that you're currently struggling with. For an example, if you're simultaneously battling financial obstacles, health obstacles, time constraints, and etc. and so forth, well, the first thing to do is find out how can I take care of all three of those things at the same time. Well, I'm telling you right now that if you eat healthier, you're going to become healthier. When you become healthier, you present a whole different appearance and image to the people who see you. Whether or not you or I care to agree with that, that's just the way it is, right? So when people look at us differently, especially if they see you in the light of health, what happens is you're offered things differently as well, in terms of employment even. And I know, again, it sounds ridiculous. In general, we're at a certain place and we're all comfortable and we're like, no, that's not true. In reality, as we think about interviewing out to different positions for different things, we realize, sure enough, people for whatever reason put a whole lot of value on whether or not people come across a certain way. So that helps your income. I mean, even if it's indirectly over the course of time, it does help your income to become healthier. So you think about reinvesting in quality foods. You're already going to eat. Why not eat something that's going to help your health? Why else would I want to help my health? You know, even though you say it's going to make my job pay me more, well, you know, maybe that's not true. You're right. Maybe there's going to be an economic blip that makes everyone live in the exact same rate of pay that they have currently for the rest of their lives. Wouldn't that be something? Anyway, so let's say that happens. Well, what about your health? If your rate of pay stays the same, but our health care coverage is not getting any more inexpensive, well, wouldn't it behoove you and I to eat better so that our health is improved? I think so, because that makes our own health care more affordable. Why? Because we don't have to go to the hospitals as many times due to health-related ailments. And what else does that save that I touched on? There were 3 things that I said that eating differently could do. It also saves you time. Why? Well, if we're not constantly going to the doctors all the time to get information that we already have available to us, I mean, we do have these big, powerful computers and the internet, and also shining examples of who is succeeding at doing what it is that they're saying you are also trying to do, right? So if you have these examples of things you can do in just one shot, basically one shot of food for breakfast every day, then it's possible that a lot of the ailments that we're afflicted with can start to be alleviated in a way that suddenly allows us more time to think a little bit more clearly, make sound decisions that allow us to enjoy the rock and roll concerts that we go to on occasion with a little bit more appreciation. I definitely, and I told one friend, I got to enjoy the last 2 concerts I saw this past year, which were Metallica and Iron Maiden. And at both concerts, I'd never enjoyed a concert like that before. It was absolutely one of the most rewarding things to go in there already kind of peaceful, instead of having gone into the concert all amped up, just like I was to begin with. It was really, I know it sounds strange, but no matter how you view it, the thing I'm saying is that I've grown an additional level of peace from reinvesting the bounty that I have into quality products that directly reflect or resonate what it is that I'm driving towards. So if we want to enjoy, for an example, me myself, I want to be out in nature as frequently as possible. So my lifestyle is going to be built around that. In order to get out into nature and enjoy it fully, well, I want to explore. I'm going to want to explore. I'm not going to want to be on the clock where I have to have a deadline where I if I'm not here at this time, then I can't see that, or you know what I mean. So those are all things that are detrimental to my lifestyle. So to further immerse myself into a job style that was only based on deadlines, as rewarding as that was monetarily, it paid me enough to buy distractions that helped me to forget that I wasn't where I wanted to be, but it never bought me the direct ticket to get where I wanted to be. And so living this other lifestyle, which is being reinvested into the quality aspects that I enjoy, has put me back on track and aligned me with my following and my aligned me with my purpose. And so anyway, reinvesting in yourself allows you to be a truer reflection to yourself as you look in the mirror. As you look in the mirror and get dressed up with whatever logo it is that you let outwardly represent you. And I know that it's funny because I have this rock and roll T-shirt on, but the artwork on it is absolutely fantastic, as dark as it might be, and it's something it's got its own place. It's this the type of music that I listen to is pretty varied. But the reason I wore this shirt today was, well, it hadn't been used in a while in my lineup, and also I wanted to talk about music today. And there was something I wrote on Facebook today, which ended with a line that said, from a famous frontman in a meaningful song, there's a line that says, "My lifestyle determines my death style." So the reinvestment aspect of what I'm talking about is it's so big, because as I've noticed our communities aging, and as I've noticed the people in the communities around me, and from here all the way up north to where I've been on all of the travels that I've been on, we have an abundance of stuff. And there are some places that have pretty much targeted the typical go-to mass volume discount stores. And in those areas, the amount of wealth that's being built up in our households has been extremely diminished, because most of our products are plastic or particle board based, or just inferior quality, to include the foods that we're eating. Those foundations, those very foundations are eroding our personal health, which is the same as our wealth. I mean, there's no way around it. So essentially, to reinvest our dividends, I would start at the very beginning and go, what do I do daily? What do I do regularly? How can I maximize the joy that I receive from it, while also simultaneously possibly reducing or alleviating the other ailments that I'm concerned with? So maybe start jotting down on the list the things that concern you, and try to figure out, are there certain things that can be remedied simultaneously with one change? Sometimes the answer is yes. For me, I believe in our communities, food is the number one aspect where you can reinvest your dividends. Once you have this newfound money, go to Salada if you live near the workplace that I used to work at here in San Antonio. Go to whatever. Go to Panera and get something from there, instead of the Happy Meal value meals that are out there. Chick-fil-A has a place, and so do all fast foods. But the way that foods are prepared, in general, you gotta just kind of question what it is that we're buying on a daily basis, and maybe wonder whether or not changing those things might change our wealth. And I think that it does. I think that our wealth changes in a direct proportion with how readily we accept and consume certain products and advertisements and thoughts and directions. So consuming what everyone else is consuming is one certain way to get where everyone else is going. Question is, do you want to go to wherever these other people are aspiring to go at the same time? I mean, you know, in terms of, what I'm saying is everyone has their own objective. Some people want to live, you know, in complete isolation. Some people want to live on the coast. Some people want to live right off the trailhead, you know, to see people going up these long quests. Some people want to live right next to the movie theaters. Some people want to live, everyone has their own dream. We can all make this work. It's just a question of, are we all healthily, you know, helping our communities get there at the same time? So affordable health care, well, maybe not for all, but you can have it for yourself if you change the values in your own lifestyle to match that. So overcome the mental hurdles, plug the holes where money is just spilling out errantly, and reinvest dividends into quality things, quality time, really. And in order to reinvest dividends into having that quality time, so you can continue to build your wealth at these nice jobs that we all have or aspire to have, we need to have the health to be able to maintain that job or even to get that job. So you know, do what you can, improve your health, reinvest in yourself. Whether it's you know, a shirt that brings your eyes out, or you know, something that just brings your genuine smile out. All you really need to do is kind of put yourself first. And if you feel like the things that you've been doing are not putting you first, or not radiating you in a way that helps you to make other people smile, then it's a good time to question whether or not those things are serving you, or if you're serving it. And so again, it ties back to a simple faith. To me, I know it was a 3-part thing, and some of you may or may not have noticed, but the title to the YouTube videos has the word faith in it itself. And I'm coming about this from a faith-based approach, because that's all I've used to get where I'm at. And I haven't used it. I've followed it, and its content is directly in alignment with just, you know, excess is not best. We shouldn't be thinking in terms of excess all the time. Bulk volume products, you know, that really shouldn't be a part of our household. And since it shouldn't be a part of our household, it shouldn't be a part of our communities. And if it shouldn't be a part of our communities, then we should just we should try to support other things instead, a little bit more frequently, but starting with ourselves. And to start with ourselves is paramount. But again, we have to let go of the debt-based approach where everything is kind of fear-based and illogical. The logic tells me if I treat myself well, I'm probably going to treat the things around me well, because I care. So if I, you know, it's kind of like there are so many different examples that really shouldn't matter. The only example that should matter is your own. And if you're looking at these videos to break your financial chains, then those are the absolute things that need to happen first. You know, the mental debt, let go of it. You're not in debt to anyone, just yourself. You only owe yourself, and yourself is the only one who can operate that beautiful machine that you have anyway. So, you know, overcome that mental lock, because you're the one piloting that glorious ship. Plug the holes of any kind of money that's just flowing out of your account for no reason. Once you plug those, now you've got the opportunity it's like now you can calm down a little bit and reinvest. And when you reinvest in yourself, well, you're reinvesting in success right off the bat. There's no way around it. If you put back into yourself, you're going to be rewarded, and that's the same as the airlines will tell you when you fly next time. If the cabin suddenly loses pressure and those masks drop, you've got to put your own on before you put someone else's on. Same thing rings true over and over and over throughout all the different things and examples that we're seeing. And I'm just one more example, bringing it to you with Tracker barking in the background a lot to reinforce the fact that what I'm saying is absolutely simple, and that's about as short as the message needed to be. So Reinvest in yourself is the third thing that I would say is absolutely paramount for the success in overcoming financial burdens. And that's about it. What's your plan? What have you done to succeed and to overcome any kind of financial burdens that you've had? If you have any tips to share, share them. I'm not the only one in my community, and you're not the only one in your community. We're all together in this community, so sharing these bits of knowledge should be paramount, because again, when my community succeeds, so do I. That's why we should think in terms of everyone first, not just ourselves. So have a great day. This is Ray with US385. Peace.